That's right. Is that the song that's in that Independence video that you did?
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Oh, aye, it's in that as well.
I love that song. Alright, we're live.
That smells amazing.
Oh, I've.
Honestly, it smells really good.
The hand
It
wash.
doesn't even smell like alcohol anymore, it just smells like fruit.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Chairman of the board, episode 33. 33. Maveric Media shop.co.uk. You can get all your awesome wares, just like our guest today. I'm actually just going to take off this thing to show you. Our guest today is wearing his Pirate Bay / Netflix style t-shirt, and it looks fucking awesome.
It's good.
We don't sell those Sum 41 t-shirts that Paul's advertising
For
there.
the scene since fucking
Old
2000
school,
and
man.
whatever it was.
But yeah, let's just jump in with the theme tune.
My name is Sam, and that's not all. I got a pretty good show with my good friend Paul. So listen up to the chairman of the board. I talk to him and he talks to me. We talk a lot of shit, but you get it for free. So don't complain, these gadgets cost a lot. So now we're at the end of the song, and everybody knows what's going on. So here we have the chairman of the, yes we have the chairman of the board. Because we're bored.
Because we're bored. That's our theme tune. It goes like that.
That's
You
our
hear it
thing.
every week. How exciting.
That's good.
That's our thing, Sam.
It is our thing.
It's good to have a thing.
It is.
That's our thing.
It's,
Love that routine.
it sucks when you don't have a thing.
That's it.
We've got Alan Clark on the podcast today. This is your third time that you've been on.
Accidentally, yeah.
Accidentally. Just kind of showed up today.
Aye.
And we're like, oh yeah, do you want to do a podcast? Fuck it. Me and Alan have been kind of working together a bit as of late. We've
Little
got this
bit.
new venture. It's a new idea. What's wrong,
I
Paul?
just made a face at myself in the thing.
Oh,
Um,
it's weird because you can see yourself now. You like watch yourself. It's like
yeah,
Changed
yeah.
the
We,
lines have
we,
changed.
we weren't able to do that before because it would just fuck up the stream. But now we're on the good computer. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Mhm.
For all those nostalgic fans that have been watching us since day one, we are now on the good computer.
What if the nostalgic fans are like, they fucking sold out?
He sold
I
out.
know. I'm
Maybe
wearing a
that's why we've not heard
t-shirt.
from
What's
Ryan
going
Green
on?
in so long.
What's that?
Maybe that's why we've not heard from Ryan Green in so long.
Ryan
But
Green shared the status. I noticed when
it's
we
nice
were
to have you back,
posting the.
Ryan.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Long time no here. Our wee venture that we're on is kind of, well, it's not just us, obviously.
Aye.
There's this. It was my brother sort of conceived of this idea to do, make a film one day, every week. We'll get together and within 24 hours, we'll go from having absolutely nothing prepared to writing the script, conceiving of an idea, storyboarding it, and we'll make a film. I don't know how committed we are to having it 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a sort of idea, first of all, it'd be 7 minutes because then it's like 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little bit ambitious to try and get it on the 7 minute mark each time, I think. And
As long as
It's on
quality.
it's on the day, and the idea is that we get together as a collective. Whoever's there just puts all their ideas and creativity into it. And
Yeah.
we end the day with the product.
yeah, because there's a
That's it.
bunch of us and we're all sort of talented in our own little ways. And so we got together last Saturday. Was that arrogant saying that we're all talented?
A wee bit, but it was quite funny. I liked it. You pulled it off.
Well, no, we are. I mean, obviously Ben's got his first class degree honours in film and media. Stephen's got his
Sound en-
degree in sound engineering.
Uh-huh.
You're quite well with. You do well with like your camp. What's the way of saying it?
Fighting.
No,
Oh.
the fight. No.
Well, that could be it.
You're,
one
you're,
day.
you're quite into photography,
Uh-huh.
and you're learning more and more every day
Aye.
about like Photoshop and and all this stuff. And I mean, me with just doing will work for free. I've been sort of thrown in the deep end of learning about video editing and all the stuff that I had to do for that. And I feel like I've learned so much more as well as times went on,
Yeah.
and even getting into like CGI type stuff with After Effects and everything.
Yeah.
If anyone saw my what's it
Ice
called,
Bucket
the
Challenge.
Ice Bucket Challenge,
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
there was a lot of CGI in that. If you haven't seen that, go check it out.
Yeah.
It's
Also,
pretty fun.
what was other guys like Kieran as well for his
Yeah.
use of Premiere. So like
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
got all sorts of
and
new guys.
Kieran's really good with Photoshop as well, and coming up with logos and He does camera work and stuff. So we've all got our own little. You know, we had Hannah Ford there as well, who's
An
big
artist.
into. She's an artist, big into like makeup and all stuff. So
Did
we
her
sort of
logo.
realised
Mhm.
that there's all these people. We've all got our own sort of little talents, you know, in certain areas and stuff. So why not just put it all together and see what happens? And so yeah, we got together last Saturday.
Yeah.
And we put together a film. It's like I said, 7 minutes. It's hard to know how to,
Yeah.
you know, structure that. So it ended up only being about 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I was thinking we could show it on the
Good
podcast.
show, aye, go
Because
for it.
it's only short and it's a lot of fun. Don't worry, you're not gonna get bored at it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not gonna be like, oh, they're showing us this fucking gay film that they made. No, it's actually really good. If I do so say myself.
So.
Put it on. This is called Swanson.
Swanson,
Yeah?
I've got the burn. 100,000. You know where to find me.
Who's this?
You don't need to know.
How am I supposed to get 100,000?
That's on you, mate.
Alright, I'll be there.
So, you've had the fucking balls to show up, Mr. What the fuck have you just done?
Nobody tells me what to do. Yeah, roll credits. So that was our short little film. I think it's fucking awesome.
I think it's
like
good,
it,
like-
that one.
Yeah, no, I love it. So the idea is that we do one of those, and of course that was obviously a comedy themed one. But the idea is that we do whatever comes up, you know. So we might end up being like a horror, you know,
Anything
film,
else
or
is
it
kind
could
of
be
up for
anything.
grabs, aye.
Yeah, and I think also what's kind of cool about this, what seems cool to me about this whole idea, is that we've been doing this podcast just out of a sort of fuck it attitude. Why not do a
Yeah.
podcast?
Uh-huh.
Who gives a fuck? Who says we can't do a podcast? And we've stuck at it, and we're now on our 33rd episode,
Yeah.
and we've got like, you know, the 2 hours each. So that's like 66 hours worth
I
of
know, that's pretty
fucking footage
mad,
that's
like,
just
it is crazy.
it's just out there.
Yeah.
So if we were able to concoct a film,
Yeah.
and even if it is just, you know, I mean, that was particularly short. We will, I think, in the future try and make them a bit longer, have a bit more dialogue, but obviously we're just getting into it. This is something new that we're doing. They'll hopefully improve
Yeah.
as time goes
Yeah.
on. But at the end, I mean, in a year from now, if we had 52 films,
even if it was 33, like podcast or whatever, like
you'd
if
be
it was
happy with that.
33, and then the amount of time, like 33 weeks on, everybody's if they have one thing or a couple of things or whatever that they're interested in, then 33 weeks from now they won't get better.
Yeah,
there's no going back.
That's it.
We'll all sort of learn from each other as well. Like if you went off and discovered, did you know you could do this in Photoshop? Like,
yeah,
it is.
We did that this week.
It's like yeah.
You know,
it's kind of like being at college, isn't it? We're all just sort of finding out stuff, learning, we're studying.
The thing that the real bit
it's like community.
Exactly.
Sorry.
But like what was it? The wee brainstorming part where you have to work with others and then like come up with ideas and play off it and then go create something.
Yeah.
It's a valuable skill.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by all this just not even us, but just everything that's happening in the world to do with this type of move forward. It's a big transition that's going on. And I was talking to my friend earlier today, and he was telling me that YouTube are now advertising. There's YouTube adverts on TV.
All right.
Like I haven't seen them yet, but he was saying he was watching just whatever it was. He was watching some TV show, and it came up an advertisement for. There's guys on YouTube that do this thing where it's they slow mo everything.
Slow-mo guys.
Yeah, slow mo guys.
Yeah.
And so apparently there was an advert for them, and his first reaction was, "Oh, I wonder when it's on because I'll set it to record on the planner."
Oh right.
And then it comes up, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, I instantly have access to it. I don't have to wait. It's just there. It's fucking
cool.
And this is all just content uploaded. It's user generated content. It's like the Netflix, but for anybody.
Yeah.
And it's kind of getting so big now that a YouTube channel will advertise on mainstream TV. We're watching this transition happen.
Yeah.
And I was saying to him as well, it's like the amount of stuff. I mean, obviously, it's there's like a transfer from the big, mainstream media TV to YouTube, but there's more than that as well.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of things like I seen this video. It wasn't on YouTube, but whoever had made it,
right,
had embedded this code. I don't know if it was just another version of YouTube. It was very YouTube. It looked like it was a YouTube video.
Yeah.
But they had all these other extra features that you don't get on YouTube. Maybe someone out there will know what I'm talking about. But one of the features that they had, one of the settings, is that you can change the playback speed.
Right.
All right.
So you can either slow it down, so you could watch a YouTube video that you like and hold up. Wait a minute, I need to see that again. Remember that video with the guy hitting the car and doing the flip?
All right.
Yeah, if you wanted to watch that again in slow motion, you could just do it through the planner. They wouldn't have to upload it in slow motion or anything.
I think you can do that on YouTube. Can you not change the speed there?
Unless it's a new thing that I haven't.
No, that's watch later.
I'll click that to watch later.
No, I'm pretty sure there's in some of them. You can
Or maybe it is just
speed it
specific
up.
ones. Because I saw.
What about that more bit down there?
No, I don't think it's there.
No, see the one that I saw, it was in that bar. It was in that bottom bar. It could just be this. It's specific ones. The video that I saw, it wasn't on YouTube. It was on like an external website. And what was weird about it is usually when there's a YouTube embedded video, you can click. There'll be like the top bar with the name, or there'll be like the little YouTube icon, and it'll take you to YouTube. This didn't have anything, so I wasn't sure if it was associated with YouTube, if some guy had made his own and it just looked like YouTube. But I thought that's dead interesting. That's something that, I guess Sky are sort of, they've got like a version of that where you can hold in the play button and it plays it back slower. But the settings on this one, it wasn't just that you could slow it down, you could watch it at 1.5 the speed.
Right.
And the relevance of that is like me and my friend, we listen to like audiobooks and things like that and podcasts.
Right.
And if you put them to 1.5 the speed, or even if you're ambitious, go up to 2 times the speed.
It's
or
still
whatever.
fast enough that you can understand it.
Yeah, you can
but you
still
get through it quicker.
You can still comprehend it. You can still take all in. Yeah, you would read a book or listen to a book in like half the time, or 3/4 of the time, whatever. It is.
Related to that, have you seen the new thing that they've come out with? The book reader, it's like an app or whatever, but you've got a book, and then the middle letter is in red.
Yeah,
and then you can read I don't know.
Speed reading.
It's crazy.
I'll get a message just now if my friend's watching. He'll tell me the name of the app because I can't remember.
I've
Or
got
in fact,
one
you know
called Wordlines on my phone.
I might have downloaded it. Yeah, Wordlines. That's where you can hold it up and it translates.
No, sorry, not Wordlines. I know the one you're talking about because I had the fucking app.
Yeah, I had it as well. But isn't that amazing? That's like, because there was an article on that that I saw. It was Harry Potter. They basically said a Harry Potter book you could get through, and I think it was like something like 90 minutes. And so this isn't audio. This is like you are actually reading it.
Yeah.
But there's something like
it's the way it's done. It's like the fact. It's
Yeah,
just,
It just highlights like one letter in the word in red,
Yeah.
and it just flicks through them.
and you can change the speed as well. So it's
Crazy.
every single word in the
Aye.
book just
I
flashes
think we've
in
talked
front
about
of you.
that on this before.
It is a weird one because, you know, when you read a word, you sort of say it out loud in your head, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
yeah.
And it's so, this thing almost, it takes that, it's going so fast that you don't have the time to really realise it, but you are taking it in.
Yeah,
And it's this weird feeling where you are reading, but it doesn't, it feels like something else.
Yeah.
And there's another thing, they did loads of analytics on the thing, and they worked out that there's a certain percentage of the time it takes you to read the book is your eyes moving from one word to the next, and so they can cut that out. Got a message here. Let's get tell us what it is. Spritz on Android and
Let's
I think you make
on
Spritz
iOS.
Let's on iOS. Was that a typo?
I don't know.
Let's maybe. I don't know. Let's.
Well, it's called
Spritz.
Spritz on Android, and I don't know if that was a typo, but he said it's called Let's on iOS. Yeah.
Nice.
So speed reading, and you just think, okay, it might be a little bit awkward for us to get used to that now because we are so used to, you know, reading a
the
book,
normal
a paperback, or whatever, and reading things on websites. You know what I do now as well? I'll just finish that as well. What I was going to say though, but like the kids of the future, if they were to, like, if you were homeschooled and you were going to, you know, be taught that kind of thing, he's saying you don't waste time with eye movement, but you lose the ability to read subconsciously through your peripheral vision. Yeah, and it just speeds the fuck up the reading process. But yeah, so if you were like homeschooled, or because I don't know if they'd really introduce this in schools, they might do. But
Well, they've introduced iPods like to kids. Like, you know,
yeah.
4 or 5.
Actually, yeah, some classrooms do have they'll have like nothing but iPads all along the chairs and stuff.
My boss's like son, he's 6 now, but when it comes to the iPad, because he's been using it at school, like when he goes home, it's like, right, he knows everything.
Oh, yeah.
How to use it in a bit. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's the next generation. Just immediately from the get go are running with technology.
And the thing is with like, especially Apple products, a lot of these things are like so intuitive.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know my niece as well. Just picked it up in no time. You know, it's able to go through it, and like she can't even read, but she knows how
This
to
is
get
YouTube.
to whatever she
Icons
wants.
and all that
You know,
kind of stuff, aye.
she'll find her way, even if it's going on YouTube and going through all the related videos.
Right.
She'll find what she wants. You
Right.
know.
It's mad.
Paul, you can read them because I'm getting distracted.
It just says check out this video on YouTube, but they sent a link.
All right. If anything comes up and I miss it, you can tell me.
Right.
Okay, we'll check this out. I'm not sure what this is.
I think it's probably a demonstration of. There
Oh
you go.
yeah, there you go. So that's it. So you can actually do it at home, folks. If you're watching this just now, you don't. Now this is weird because I'm doing it, and you're able to comprehend it. It's incredible, isn't it?
It's quite crazy. Like.
Yeah. No, and that's it. And like,
See, the thing about that is that's the slower settings. Of
oh yeah,
the-
that's it. You can adjust it. You can adjust it, and just fucking. I think that's when they were talking about Harry Potter being like a 90-minute. You could read the entire Harry Potter book. I think they were probably saying if it was on like the highest setting.
Aye.
But wow, like a full fucking book in 90 minutes, and your brain absorbs it. It's like the fucking Matrix thing where they're plugging the shit into the back of your head and he's, I learned Kung Fu. Like, fucking,
But
oh, that's another thing on Keanu Reeves.
all
We
right,
should show people, but
all right, okay, we'll do that.
we'll do that later.
See the Harry Potter thing though. You remember the big one? What was it, Goblet of Fire? I might be wrong, but it's a massive book. Like, see, my sister.
Did you just admit you're a Harry Potter geek? Didn't you? Goblet of Fire.
I watched
you-
the movies, but I haven't read the books.
Oh.
I'm that guy.
all the Harry Potter fans will be going ape shit.
Just losing their shit. It's like, flip the table. I'm not watching. But what was my sister's a big fan. She's read all the books, but when she reads 2 pages at once. So she finished this like massive like
What
book.
do you mean she reads 2 pages at once?
I don't know how she does it, but like she kind of just goes between them two. Like, it's a weird speed reading thing that she does. But
Alright.
she finished it in about 4 or 5 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, and it's one of the biggest ones. That took me
So I was thinking
That'd
when
take me
you're talking about
months to do that.
the speed reading that, like no Chinese writing,
Uh-huh.
not racist, right?
That always
No,
starts
how-
well. I'm not racist, but
If you
Like,
start
you know
off
how-
saying you're not
You know how
racist.
we read like that,
Yeah.
right? But they read up and down,
Right.
right? And their words are like maybe more like symbols. Their words aren't necessarily comprised of like different characters.
Yeah.
They're just a symbol. Do you think if like Chinese people wrote something on like a toilet roll, right, and then just whipped it down, they could just sit and it would just, and they could read it because it's just
Basically do what they're
characters
doing
go
with the
past.
speed reading.
Yeah.
are you saying that Chinese or Japanese people should sit on the toilet and that's how they speed read, is through toilet paper?
Aye,
Like, that's
but
the
that
next
could
thing.
be good though. Do you know what I mean?
That
And
could
just
be
whip it really quick.
Improve the reading.
But that's
The kids in
it's
there
a
going
link
mental with the
anyway.
toilet roll. The mum's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm speed reading."
That's all right then. I'll leave you to it.
Maybe that's where the idea came from.
Mate, I don't know. Well, you get word of the day toilet paper, don't you?
Talking about that though,
What's the point in word of the day toilet paper? Because you always use more than one sheet.
That's true, actually.
there's never enough words in a day. Well,
And you're not going to
philosophy.
sit and read them all the time, do you know what I
I
mean?
suppose.
But,
That's a doubler.
Did you see the thing about again technology, the protests in Hong Kong?
Aye, what was this about?
Yeah,
I've seen that.
I've
It's
just seen the
crazy.
images.
I'm not too sure. Kieran will tell you better, but what was it? What they were doing? I think, and I will probably be wrong, but they were all like, you saw like them with their phones and
Aye.
had their lights on, but it wasn't that. It was they were all connected.
They were connected to like was it like a peer network or something it was called? Like they were all
Oh,
connected
is-
in one fucking
Is this
thing,
something
and
to
they could
do?
communicate
It was crazy. But
and
it was really cool.
aye,
Is this something to do with they can't get on certain websites and it's a protest against?
aye, it could
they
be
don't
something
have
to do with that, aye.
like
So
certain
they made
access.
their own network like, and connected up all their phones so they could basically talk to each other
Right.
and conduct this protest
Uh-huh.
without anybody else, like the police, and like looking in on it and being
Yeah.
aware of what they're up to. They weren't
Alright.
doing anything bad in that.
Yeah.
But it's like
Interesting.
protesting to another level. Like
Yeah.
Aye, it was pretty cool. Like
Hong
But-
Kong, like setting the pace again.
I seen some crazy thing
Exactly.
about it was something on Reddit, and it was just like a wee gift, but it was like just a woman standing, and then this police guy kind of just goes like that, and she turned round, and when she turned round, fucking, you're solid, Alan, eh? Actually,
Thanks.
I've got a wee bit, but like so he just taps this wee woman on the arm, and she turned round, and then he grabs her and is like fucking pepper spray in her face.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Have you seen the what was it? The pepper spraying, like the guy that's just like literally to a line of them.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
everywhere.
I was at a university in America. They were all outside
Yeah.
the college.
You know, the crazy thing I was like listening to today. There was what's it called? Civil. I can't remember. Civil something. Is it in America? Basically, your home, your household, all your possessions are guilty, right? And you have to prove their innocence.
Right.
So if the police come to
What?
your door, they could have an arrest warrant for your house,
All right.
right?
Do you know? I'm actually recalling. I think I did see. I don't think I clicked on it, but I think I did see an article to do with something about that.
I was watching Last Week Tonight.
I don't know. I seen an article as I was skimming through Facebook
Yeah.
or something.
But there was this guy. He had 24,000 in his car, for example, right? His dad had given him it. He was traveling from, I can't remember where, to I think it was Las Vegas, huge distance away anyway. I think it was Wisconsin or something like that to Las Vegas. But either way, huge distance, and it was to go to Las Vegas and set up a business.
yeah.
Right.
He gets stopped by the police. Police come up to him and go, "What was it?
Para.
Before you do anything, do you have any cash above 5,000 that's in the car. And he's like, well, I've got 24,000. I'll be giving it for XYZ. The police officer then says, right, well, that's clearly for drug money.
Clearly.
So I'll be taking that.
Yeah.
You know? And they can do it because you should watch the video.
I think
Last Week Tonight is awesome.
How will I find this video? Just put it on.
Last Week Tonight. If you haven't watched this, by the way, it takes news events or things that happen in the news, and then a week later reports on them. So
John Oliver, is it?
Yeah. So
Civil,
that one.
whatever that word is.
So obviously, I don't think we could watch the whole 16
police.
minutes.
Oh yeah.
They
But-
protect us, they serve us, and they provide us with an endless source of TV show one-liners.
We'll try and skip it forward to some.
Most people can't afford to hire a lawyer to challenge it. It's really legalized robbery by law. It's really a mechanism.
A procedure called civil forfeiture. Now, I know it
Civil
sounds like a
forfeiture.
Gwyneth Paltrow euphemism for divorce, but incredibly, it's actually even worse than that.
Civil asset forfeiture is really a mechanism by which the state and federal government can seize people's property without having to convict them of a crime.
Yeah.
Most people can't afford to hire a lawyer to challenge it. It's really legalized robbery by law enforcement.
And think about it, that is a tough crime to report to the police. Give me a description of what the guy looked like. Well, to be honest, he looked a lot like the guy currently asking me what the guy looked like.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy stuff.
That is. I have seen
video's good,
something
though.
else. I'm skimming through it to see if I can see the clip of the similar thing that I've seen
Right.
on this same subject. Where there was a woman with her kids and stuff in the car,
Right.
and yeah, she was talking about like you can't fucking go to court. Like it's just going to cost you so much money. So all that money, if they don't have to prove that it's the drug money, as long as it's there's all their laws are so fucking subjective anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just have to kind of show that the police had reasonable assumption, to take it,
believe
it.
and they can just take it.
Yeah. Like that, the one I was telling you about, the guy with the business, I think it's in there as well. The police officer forgot to mention that the money that the guy had said that the money was being used to start up a business and had been given them from his dad, and he had evidence to prove it
Yeah.
in the car with them.
So just
And then when the news reporter asked him and said, "By the way, did you know this?" And he went, "Yeah." Well, why didn't you put it in your statement? And he's like, it's a long pause, like, don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Don't know. What, you missed that out? Like, it's
they're so
crazy,
used to it. The
crazy.
police, a lot of them are just like fucking robots, like just fucking zombies. There's no, there's no feelings. There's no.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. You should watch that for people watching.
Oh, yeah,
and
John
watch
Oliver.
just all of them. They're so good.
John Oliver, Last Week Tonight, civil forfeiture, and again you get it on YouTube just like that. Fucking YouTube. No, I do. I love it. We were saying about this, the speed reading stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like we'll go back to YouTube. If they embed these settings, like, because like I said,
Subtitles
we listen to fucking lectures and things like that, and these lectures will be like 2-3 hours long,
Yeah.
or like debates and things like that. And if you can just skip it to 1.5 the speed and listen to it,
Aye.
and just about half the time, like that's, I don't know, it just sort of has this feeling of like humanity is, or development is just going to speed up even fucking more because of shit like this.
The
Who
one
knows?
thing I worry about though is everything's speeding up. So it's a point of where's the attention span going? Because to hold your attention to anything, it feels difficult now. Like I struggle with things if it's not like in an instant.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I watched a quite a popular film, a critically acclaimed film. It's supposed to be like this big classic, Taxi Driver.
Oh yeah.
With Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
I was bored as shit, to be honest.
Really?
Like, no, I mean, I I can
It
see
is a long movie.
Joe Rogan talks about it, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what got me in. Like, all right, I'm going to go watch it. But just with the amount of fucking decent films that you have now, and this is what I'm saying. I was having this conversation with my friend last night about back then. I mean, that was 1979, I think.
Yeah.
And so there weren't too many, decent films that people are looking back on. They're few and far between. But this is one of them that stands out, and you have to say, well, why? Why is this one standing out?
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, people liked that. For whatever reason, people got an emotion of, oh, this is badass. You know, this is De Niro's in the mirror and he's doing, oh, you talking to me and stuff like that. To people like Joe Rogan would have been a teenager when he watched that, and that must have felt like so fucking badass. And I'm saying, but there's so many other better examples of badasses now.
Yeah.
You know,
well, see, the thing is, this is like because I play guitar, so like when you're growing up in that, it's like talking about favorite guitarists or whatnot. People always mention the up and coming guy right here, right now. And then when you look back to XYZ, it's like, oh, they were born, the one is good, the one is good. But it's always a progression. You're always learning from the previous guy. So, Taxi Driver was dead, but so much inspiration has come from that.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely agree.
We have the movies that have got
I definitely agree. It played its part in history. It was... It was...
but times have changed.
Yeah. It's just kind of like... I don't know, if I was going to introduce someone to the greatest movies... I, over the course of however long, I would acknowledge that played a part in the development of movies, but I don't think I would show it to anyone new as being like, this is a cool movie, because it really is. And just like you're saying, and maybe it's an attention span thing, but I was fucking bored watching this shit. Like,
you have to be in the right frame of mind for films like that now. Like, it was just strange. Like, see if I'm on Netflix and if it's something older like that, I need to go right. I'm gonna put time to that, because it's longer than an hour and a half. I'm like, right, that's gonna be 2 hours of my time. Yeah, and I want to make sure that I'm not distracted, which means Facebook, phone, whatever. So you kind of have to actually set time for it, so which is weird. Just because my attention span is now like, right, I actually need to put some effort, because I'll get so distracted so easy. Maybe because people would say, or like, you know, if technology keeps going the way it's going, maybe our attention spans will just diminish and all that stuff. But maybe technology will allow for information to develop alongside us. So like the speed reading app. Right. Now we can get the information in half the time. So like Harry Potter, like, you know, there's so much information out there. Why am I going to waste, you know, an hour of my day reading this book? But what if it was half an hour and you can speed read it? Oh, it might not be so bad then. So lunch break. And maybe if YouTube has this double speed or you know 1.5 speed button where you can watch and absorb a lecture. Like if you were going to watch, you know, I don't know, whatever lecture it is, you know, if it's a big, long, boring lecture, you're probably not going to be bothered with it. But if you can absorb it and take it in and just have seen it all in half the time, maybe then you'll give it that time. Well, like even with things like the podcast or when I'm watching lectures as well, it's what I tend to do is I won't watch the whole thing. I'll watch it in 15 to 20 minute sections. All right. So I usually break it up, and then like one I was watching recently, I was watching a photography one. So it was like 20 minutes, and then okay, here's some new ideas. I'm gonna go practice that, and then I come back to it. I pick up another 20 minutes, and then I try to really sort of digest what I'm taking in. So when it comes to the podcast as well, like 2 hours is a long time. So I usually kind of take it in bits. See, I'm different to that, and I like my friend as well. Like I'll send him some videos sometimes, and he'll look at it and it'll say like 2 hours long or something, and he'll be like, "Fucking dude, it's 2 hours." Like, you know, you're sending me like, it'd be different if you were sending me a 10-minute clip. Even then, that's kind of long. But you know, I'm sending him a 2 hour video. Oh, dude, watch this. You might like it. But whereas I'm sort of, and I don't know if it might have something to do with the whole ADHD thing. There might be a connection there. But I will endure information flow. Like, and when I first got into Richard Dawkins, like I literally spent, I wouldn't sleep. I'd be up for like 24 hours at a time just watching fucking videos, not just Richard Dawkins, but all the related ones. And I'm just there, like eyes glued to the screen, and like really have to go to my bed, but can't pull myself away from the screen because I find it so interesting. Well, see, that's the thing there as well. see if it is something like that. See if it's something that you're interested in. It should be, if you're going to dedicate time, like 2 hours to something, it should be something that at the end of it you'll feel some sort of benefit from watching it. So
although saying that, I mean, I did it as well for shit that was irrelevant, like fucking Dragon Ball.
Well, no, that's not irrelevant. Take that back.
But do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily that I'm educating myself necessarily, other than, you know, Dragon Ball culture.
Aye.
But like, I remember when I first discovered, because I was like a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, and when I first sort of discovered there was like a whole other series, there was Dragon Ball that came before that.
Dragon Ball and
Yeah,
JT.
I would just watch episode after episode
I
glued to
did
the
that.
screen.
What I did was for Dragon Ball Z, I had the filler guide, and I watched all the episodes, but I did it while I was training, because it's the most awesome motivation you can have. It's like Goku's like 10,001, 10,002, and I'm like, yeah,
That's gonna be me.
like see, as soon as I got to like, you know, like 2 times gravity, 4 times gravity, all that sort of stuff, I was just like, oh my god, that's so cool.
I'll fucking love Dragon Ball. But
Best thing.
yeah. You know what's weird as well? Just because I don't know if we've talked about this. We've often talked about like Oculus Rift and all this stuff, and like that Alien Isolation game's out now, and that's supposed to be like on the Oculus Rift.
Really?
That's like the way that it's going to be played. Because it's on the consoles and people are playing it,
Right.
but people have been demoing it on the Oculus Rift.
See, I think that sounds cooler.
Yeah. Well, that's
if you were to give me the 2 options, like the game looks quite cool, but like see the Oculus Rift and being in there, that'd be quite, that'd be intense.
That's kind of almost what it was designed for. This is like going to be one of the top Oculus Rift games, if they ever fucking properly release it. For people who don't know, the Oculus Rift is a virtual reality headset, but
it's like basically like, you know,
but
who's the guy in Star Trek?
Jordan. Was his name Jordan or something like that?
I don't know. I know who you're talking about.
Community.
That guy, yeah. There you go.
So basically, it's like just a bigger version.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Actually, I think this week kind of like relate to the Oculus Rift, and it was a hand. It was like a hand set. Like it went round the outside of your hand.
Alright.
See, like in game, there was like a can.
Yeah.
Like it would
Can pick up and
fucking,
stuff.
like you could go like that, and it would like put your hand to the dimension of that can, and you could like move it
Yeah.
about and stuff.
I
like
think
that.
that's
It's crazy.
absolutely coming. But just because it made me think there about like Dragon Ball and stuff like that, and I used to really fucking like I was obsessed with Dragon Ball, like loved it,
so
wished I could live in that world.
Yeah.
And the thing is now Oculus Rift, you
You
know,
can, Sam.
now you probably will be able to one
you
day.
could be Gohan and you can fight Cell.
You think about it though,
Aye,
I
that'd
mean,
be
like
cool.
even just walking around the Dragon Ball or flying around, doing whatever you want. And it sounds silly and everything, but they will make worlds like Minecraft. I guess is a similar example of a big online community, and everyone's building their own worlds, and you can go to each of them and explore and whatever. If they do that with the Oculus Rift or Oculus Rift, however you say it, you're going to be like in our real world, and people will make the most realistic ones that they can, because they want it to reflect reality. But you will get people that make the fucking Dragon Ball Z one, and you're walking around, and it'll be so weird because you'll put your hand up and it'll be an animated hand. And if people who don't like Dragon Ball Z, like take any fucking anime you like, you know, like I don't know, Akira or whatever, like walking around, and you've gone, how weird would that be? You've got an animated hand.
Like how much of if you just looked down and
you look down and you're
animated.
That's a mind fuck.
That would fuck you up.
And people like
That was fucked with your head.
Yeah, because people do, like when they wear the Oculus Rift, they get a proper physical response from like standing next to a cliff. They get that same sort of feeling. And they're saying that they're going to be able to use the Oculus Rift to help people with like post-traumatic stress disorder and all this kind of stuff. Because it does genuinely trick your brain, and this is only really 2 senses, like your sight and your sound, your hearing, and so it tricks your senses enough to make you think that you're actually there. And of course, if you do wear the gloves and you can put your hand up, that's going to slightly edge on a bit of a third sense or whatever. But looking down and seeing an animated version of yourself, that's something that's never really been experienced before. And I
Like
think
you
it
can
will be
do it
weird.
like first person where you sort of seen it and it's happened to games, but actually having it like right there in your peripheral vision.
Yeah, going up
it's
to
just all game. It's no like there's a screen right there in front of me,
Yeah.
and then you've got all this, so you know that you're here. But if it's like a horror game, like there's Outlast,
Yeah.
like if you're in this mental hospital and there's crazy people running around, and it's like no,
Fuck.
no, is that done?
But you know what? See, if it can help people get over like post-traumatic stress because they get so used to it, you know the way like you'll play like Mario or something, or even Resident Evil.
Yeah,
Resident Evil is a survival horror game. Like you get used to it. Like initially, it's fucking really scary, but eventually you get used to it.
Aye.
I wonder if the Oculus Rift could trick you into just becoming like, a fucking badass because like you don't give a shit. Like you're all you play is survival horror games, so there's nothing in the real world that's gonna scare you.
Imagine if it was like in Old Boy, the original, and he's
Yeah,
he's punching the wall and everything, and he's doing all that, and then he escapes, and the first thing he does is find like a group of like punks or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like I'm just gonna see if I can fight.
Yeah,
That sort of thing.
Yeah, that's
you,
what it'd be
you
like.
just like go outside like, right, bust up.
I'm gonna, and it's just a group of kids that haven't done anything, but you're like, I need to see if I can fight. And you just beat the shit out of them.
You've been playing too much Dragon Ball Z, you're like, Cell. It's like, that's a child.
And all you see is animated characters.
Well, that's I've heard about like folk getting like conditions and stuff like that, and I can't remember there is a proper name for it, but like people have actually killed members of their family believing that they're in the game.
Oh yeah,
like crazy stuff like that. Yeah.
What about these people that like play like World of Warcraft and they fucking that's what they do. They just play World of Warcraft. Like they could just live in World of Warcraft. Like they could just be in their house. That could be their life. Like they could go to bed and that with the fucking headset on.
Aye. They could be a dwarf.
Well,
That'd be
there's
fucked up, man. Like people that could go too far for some people.
Well, there is a thing as well, and I don't know how far this will go, but I guess over time it'll become something. But it's a version of this virtual reality headset, but it's see-through, and so you can. It basically like Tony Stark, like how he'll be able to move all this stuff. You can do that, like you can have a CGI can pick up and actually like the glasses will detect that like that radiator behind you, that's a surface, and so I can put the can down there if I want, and it's just a 3D can, and I can move away from it, go back to it. It will always be there.
You know what you always see in the movies and stuff like Iron Man and that is the holograms and stuff. Like there's a screen there, and if you press the button, you can do all this. Like,
so that's kind of what it's going to be like. But it's all done through these glasses. And I mean, they are in their very early stages. Yeah. But so was the Oculus Rift at one point.
Well, even with that, like I was thinking about movies there, like Star Trek and like the walkie-talkie thing that we get, like mobile phone, like all these things that are way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And then this could potentially be the next big thing in 10 years or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. We always end up talking about fucking Oculus Rift and stuff. One of the other things we always talk about, it's almost like we've got themes on the show.
Aye, right.
Because we didn't attempt to have any sort of themes, but we always ended up talking about North Korea.
Right. Always a good start.
Yeah.
I always start my conversations with North Korea.
You're standing next to someone at a bus stop. So,
North Korea,
how
how's
about
that
them
going?
North Koreans, huh? Do you know anything about the new developments?
Apparently the guy's so fat that he's in hospital.
Yeah, he's gone missing, and like he's not on any of the public. He's not been in the public eye, and there's all these events that he's like supposed
You could
to
ask
have
me
been
about
to.
fucking what's going on in our government just now, and I'd be like, fuck it, I don't
Do you hear?
North Korea, who cares?
he's fat. He's fat now.
Do you hear what's going on with the great leader? Oh yeah, he hasn't been seen. He's fat. He's fucking.
He's in a special hospital. It's
That's
crazy.
A special
mental.
hospital.
It's,
But if
it's
he
a specialised
died-
hospital for something. I don't know what it was. It's for like leg injuries or something like that. It was something weird. It wasn't for fat people.
All
It
right.
was some weird hospital.
Because I was thinking when I first read it and didn't know what was wrong, it was just that he went missing and there was
But
conspiracy
he doesn't
theories.
have any children or that. He doesn't have any of the next
that's what I'm saying.
in line.
Like if he died, oh fuck, that country would be in fucking turmoil,
Aye.
Because
Shit would go down.
it's all
Apart from
dependent
the
upon.
talks with South Korea apparently about like making piece or something.
Oh yeah.
I'd seen something like that as well. I never read into it though. I just like the bonker stuff.
Yeah. They're fucking gonna have to.
I was reading some article this week about how some guy took them to like an amusement fucking like a theme park in Korea.
Right.
This guy took they'd got some tour to it or something like that, and he was just like, it was just weird as shit. Like the whole place looked like it just was desolate. But like
Right.
you would be like all looking one way, and then like some guy would like see me like looking at a ride, and then they would turn it on and it'd be like woo, bells and whistles, gah, gah, gah. Then they'd turn away and it'd just turn off again. And there was people there that were just like paid, like they like shipped in like other Koreans to just go on the rides and stuff like that, to just make it look like they were there. And like it's just fucking crazy.
Yeah. North Korea is definitely top 5 at least of crazy places.
Aye, definitely.
It's up there.
It's just the absolute height of propaganda.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy.
it's pretty mental.
What's all our subjects? You got North Korea.
I was thinking, well, the North Korea was the one that I was going to come round to, saying, because we also, I mean, slightly talk about Nazis a little bit. Not
Oh,
really.
they've not done anything new.
Nah, we've not. They've not. They've been quiet for some time now. I don't know what's the other sort of themes like that we end up accidentally sort of stumbling on.
I don't know. Sometimes conspiracy things and that. But
Imagine conspiracy, religion, technology.
Yeah.
I was looking at that
Sorry, guys.
the stuff they remember that week had the Crybaby of the Week and that, and the Darwin Awards. I've got some new of them if you want any of them, Sam.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any videos we can watch?
Any videos? I don't know. Let's watch like a Korea video.
Or what was that? We the
Let's see
trailer
what
for
Korea's up to.
for when we did Swanson.
yeah.
Right.
You were telling me about it. Reminded you of.
You walked out and it was obviously like you guys just saw the video not long ago, but you were dressed kind of as old boy.
Yeah.
But when you were describing how you wanted your hair, or you were going for it, and it was like the middle part and then straight down the sides. And it just immediately reminded me not only of Swanson but of this trailer for this new film.
Yeah.
With Keanu Reeves, John Wick.
John Wick, that's what it's called.
So it's just basically.
So that's a new film,
Aye, it's one of those like really flimsy plot, but it's just it's a cool trailer.
Willem Dafoe. What's he? Last time I seen him in
William the Friend.
I'm up.
So just imagine this as like Sam.
This is Swanson.
So this is Swanson. This is the real Swanson.
This is what Swanson was.
Yeah. They stole our idea.
You like that, huh?
Nice ride.
Thanks.
How much?
Excuse me.
How much for the car?
She's not for sale.
You have good day, sir.
Daisy. I lost everything. That dog was a final gift from my dying wife.
Jonathan, you got out once. You dip so much as a pinky back into this pond, you may find something reaching out to pull you back in.
It's personal.
Where'd you get that car?
What does it matter?
It's not what you did, son. It's who you did it to.
Nobody?
That nobody is John Wick.
You working again? No, just sorting some stuff out.
Task your crew.
How many?
As many as you have.
Hey, John. I thought I'd let myself in.
People keep asking if I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
I'm not afraid of John Wick.
How good's your laundry?
No one's that good.
I thought not.
John Wick, bitch. Yeah, but I don't know. It looks badass. Looks fun.
Yeah.
But actually plays on to the point I was making about. There's that now with all the guns and the explosion and all the, because you go to the cinema and you're seeing yourself as the sort of protagonist, the character, and all that. So when I watched that, I'm like, all right, that looks pretty badass, and it's not what you did, it's who you did it to.
I don't really understand what happened to that film.
Well, so they killed his dog.
So they went
Yeah, that's a bit. That's a little bit of the quirkiness to the plot, because usually it'd be like, they killed my wife, but no, they killed my dog,
which was a present from my dying wife.
Yeah,
you know.
So it seems a little bit kind of goofy as well.
Yeah.
But there you have that fucking line of,
and
oh
what was
shit.
what was under the ground? That fucking weird light.
He had buried under the ground his briefcase with all his fucking guns, all his badass shit.
Why was it lighting up?
Why was it lighting up? I don't know. Maybe it was just a kitchen light or something.
Aye.
But yeah. So I guess the idea is that he was this ex, you know, whatever. It doesn't even matter. They don't even have a name for him. He was an ex-military whatever.
It was an ex-Swanson.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just the camera there for you. Yeah. So the idea is like, you know, typical action movie and all that stuff, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can watch that now and get all the fucking feelings that whoever was watching Taxi Driver. Because I don't know. I mean, yeah, De Niro's a decent actor and all that. I'm not shitting on him.
But maybe they're just like, they need more now to be impressed.
Aye.
Because we've seen Taxi Driver.
Well,
and that,
yeah,
like,
we do. But
bigger and better.
The fact is, like, I mean, the thing is as well, I think when you're younger and when there's less available, you watch things more and more.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, I watched fucking, what did I love? Cool Runnings was one of my favorite. I fucking love Cool Runnings. And do you know what? But it was because, I mean, how much, I mean, back then there was no internet. If you wanted to watch anything, you had to buy the VHS and all that stuff. So, or go rent it or whatever. So it was like, stuff was kind of few and far between, you know. And you maybe like, the only time you'd heard of a film was because your friend had one or whatever. My friend's got this film. Have you heard of this? And it became like, whatever.
VHS.
Yeah.
Aye.
But if you had a tape, the reason, because you always heard of people watching stuff over and over again. You'd watch a film like more than once.
Yeah.
You like maybe once a week you'd watch this film. But that's because there wasn't much else to watch.
Yeah.
So
my mum used to buy like VHSs, like, and I don't know where the fuck she got them from. I swear to God, they're like straight to video kind of deals. And I've never fucking heard of them or heard anybody speaking about the film.
Yeah.
We fucking used to watch them all the time.
Yeah.
I remember my mum. I remember this so vividly as well. Like fucking Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah.
I think it was 3. I don't think it was 2.
The one in Wonderworld. When it
Yeah. Well, my mum got a video from the library. They used to rent the videos and stuff, and but it was the wrong tape in the wrong case kind of thing. So she didn't get the one that she wanted. She ended up with Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Right.
And I'd seen the first one.
Right.
So I saw Beverly Hills Cop 3, like the logo and everything. I was like, oh, Beverly Hills Cop 3. And she was like, no, that's an 18. You're not watching it. And I was like, no. She would not let me watch it. Because it was an 18, and I don't think she really knew what it was. Yeah. But I was like, but I've seen the first one. The fucking, my dopamine's fucking off the hinges here. So yeah, didn't get to watch it. But yeah, so back in the day, like, you were limited really with what stuff you had.
But that's the thing. It's so instant now.
Yeah.
What's that? You kind of like, you know, type it into Google. If you don't know the name of it, you can pretty much like wing it. Like if there's a song that you're looking for, well, the lyrics kind of go like that. Bang. There's a song you're thinking of. You know,
get instantly.
it's just...
Or even go a step further and be like, my friend was telling me about this song and it has something to do with this, so you just song about this and you'll find it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like Steve Hazel does something that's quite funny. Like she'll type like exactly what she's thinking into it, so it's like not really like a search or whatever, but it'll be a sentence. Like, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, the dog that does this in the video. Bang.
Yeah.
And always manages to find it.
You know what? Think about how fucked up it is as well, that if you saw something on TV that you liked, or even a song on the radio that you thought, fuck, that's pretty good, Well, tough shit, because it's already started playing, so if you want to go record it, you're too late.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't, you know, you can't record it, you can't set it to record in the way that you can do now with Sky, where something's like already playing, it's alright, it'll record from the start and all that.
Yeah.
So if you find out you like something, it's usually too late. What a weird fucking, you know, kids of the day are not going to know any of this stuff.
No,
you know?
they won't. They just take everything for granted.
They'll look at a Game Boy and go like,
Yeah.
what do you do with this brick?
Yeah.
You know, they'll build walls with it.
Oh, a digital brick.
Aye.
Yeah, aye.
Or like when you had cassette tapes and you could make like a mixtape, but you're like, fuck, I've needed me a cassette tape so I can make another fucking mixtape.
Yeah.
I'll just tape over that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But then as
you
well,
never needed one tape.
But you know what as well though, because like I'm thinking, like we don't what's the sort of words I'm looking for?
I don't know what you.
So like
say.
the films and stuff like that, people would watch them and be nostalgic about it, like Cool Runnings, my example. I'd be nostalgic about Cool Runnings,
right?
Because that was my shit. That was what I had when I was like, yeah, Cool Runnings.
This is my jam.
This is my jam. And whereas, so I'll cling on to that because like, and it doesn't matter if I watch it back in 10 years from now and go, yeah, that's a pretty dog shit film. I'm not going to be able to do that because there's this block there. There's this nostalgic. I'm holding on to it. Whereas if kids are growing up with stuff, I don't know if this is right or not, but if kids are growing up with stuff where they're not really going to get too attached to it because there's so much, then you won't get any bullshit. Like if something's bad, people will be able to accept that it's bad. No one will be holding on to anything in the same way. You know, so
I don't know, maybe might you still get that, you know, that sort of emotional response to the mentality. No, but this is mine, you know.
Maybe.
This is my childhood.
But I mean, like say, because there was an article as well the other day about why you shouldn't watch the Never-Ending Story as an adult.
All right.
Because it is a garbage film.
I didn't like it growing up either.
No. See, I liked it. I was a big fan. But I mean, I was like really young and everything.
I liked the big, you know, dog.
Yeah.
I was like, that would be cool.
But that's it though. Like, you know what I mean? It probably was a dog shit film, but it's the type of film that kids are really drawn to, and if there's nothing else, you'll watch it over and over and over, and you'll get really like clingy about it, and this is my shit, and this is like the best shit ever. And then when you grow up, you won't want to admit that it's a pile of shit. And but whereas like maybe that type of maybe that'll die down because your kids today are gonna grow up. They don't have to cling on to one thing and watch it over and over and over again.
Do you think like kids now will like grow up and still want to watch Frozen all the time?
Maybe.
But that'll be nostalgic. Like they'll be like, I loved this song when I was like, I will show it to my kids.
But then would they watch the whole film or would they just watch the song?
Don't know.
We'll have to wait and see.
But also, maybe this is making my point though, because Frozen's the shit.
Aye. But everybody's mad on it, eh? But then do you think like when the Goonies or something came out, everybody was fucking going Goonie nuts?
I don't know. I like the Goonies. I think that it still holds up.
Yeah.
I think it does as well.
Yeah.
But then we're that kind of age, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What if we asked somebody that was like a lot old, that was like a grown up or whatever when it came out? Do you know
I
what
just
I mean?
thought I have to check the comments as well. Forgot about that.
Do you think they would still hold on to it in the same way?
Can you check the comments from there?
Yeah, we should be able to. I forgot I said that I would, and I've not really been doing it. Oh yeah, we've got.
No, I actually read LaForge.
Oh, what
I
did
actually
say,
read
Georgie?
that fast text. Yeah.
Who the fuck was Georgie? I said.
That's the. Yeah, so we do have a couple of comments.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I think I want a coffee.
You want a coffee?
You just want a coffee?
No, I'm alright, mate.
I could go coffee.
I've got so much sugar right now. 2 cans.
Have you had 2 cans?
Aye.
Fucking
I know
hell.
this guy.
He's a machine.
He's a machine.
2 cans of Iron Brew. Do you ever see the old Iron Brew adverts?
Oh, I haven't seen them in ages.
See, because I'm older than you as well, I might even be talking about like ones from even further back. What ones are you you thinking of?
That's really old, that one, that first, that top one there.
See, this is like the
I remember the
from
old guy with the
gutters.
false teeth and that. 1986, I wasn't even born.
Hi. Wait a minute, I'm going to watch that again. What does he say? Coming for the football. He goes, aye.
Go play football. Aye.
If you asked anyone to go play football and they said aye like that, you just turn around instantly and go, actually, it's alright.
That's what come and play.
Alright,
It was just like, are you coming for the football? Like, are they going to football or is he coming to play it? I'd be like,
I don't know. I think watching back the same thing that I could
assuming by the fact that he's holding a football, that he would be going to play it rather than watch it.
Rather than going to get it. That's what I'm saying. This isn't even the end of the advert yet, folks.
Go play football. Aye.
Go over that. And now he's going to be solid because he's drunk his iron brew. Oh shit!
Yeah, the sleeves are going up.
Oh, I like fucking hell!
Bar's Iron Brew, made in Scotland from girders.
That's solid. That's a good
That's
advert.
crazy. Eh?
That's better than the adverts now.
Iron Brew have always had really fucking good adverts,
Aye.
actually, haven't they?
Like it's been
Is this
pretty
a
There's another
compilation?
girders one. I want to see the other girders one.
Might get in here.
Made
This is
from
like a wee
girders.
compilation.
All the best.
Oh wow.
All the best Iron Brew adverts. Brilliant.
So, what are we going to call her?
Fanny. I want to call her Fanny.
You can't call her Fanny. Fanny, eh? I like it. It's unusual, unique.
My mum's a Fanny. Granny was a Fanny. She'll be joining a long line of Fannies.
Aye, it's good to keep up tradition.
Oh, Fanny, you're just like your daddy.
Ready, everybody?
Everybody in the world loves Iron Brew.
I do. I do. I do.
Me too. Everybody in the world loves Iron Brew.
He does. She does. We does.
Me does.
And I especially love Iron Brew. Even though I used to be a man. Even though I used to be a man.
I haven't seen that in ages.
They're all really funny, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen a bad Iron Brew advert.
Here!
He's blind.
Get all.
Good time.
Senga!
Senga!
So, Senga, you come here often? Why? Three mans love the crash. Destiny! Billy John Packin!
Hack it.
Nice. Strong jeans.
Fucking look. That look she gave him.
What's that you're drinking? Iron Brew. Come on, give your old granddad a sip.
Oh, I remember this.
So
It's alright, Grandad. You finish it.
Jesus Christ, we're going for it, everyone.
I know.
Smart aleck, are you, eh? Well, get this in your pie hole, clever clogs. Iron Brew 32, pure mental stimulation in a can. And it doesn't taste like the bottom of my cage. Shh. I'll shoo you, tweedy old crow. Cuckoo. New Iron Brew 32. Wakey, wakey.
It's been so long since I've seen these.
Oh my
I
god.
like this one as well.
Oh shit, they got in loads of trouble for this.
Did they?
Yeah, yeah. Cheer up, Goff, have an Iron Brew.
Like, see if that was like a sketch show or something. I was like, oh, like, aye, I can see that.
Oh, aye, been there.
That's funny.
How can you get in trouble for these
See,
things?
I'm sure, I don't know if it was an advert or if it was just something that got generated.
Right.
But there was a thing of cheer up, Goff, have an Iron Brew,
Right.
and people would like all the Neds and that would be throwing Iron Brew at the Goffs,
Oh,
and it was a
shit.
big thing about it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
fucking so ridiculous.
That was unbelievable.
I know. It's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Their marketing team and everything is just awesome.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Hiya! I made my stuff in, you know, like we said. And that TV was so big. There was nowhere for this.
That live Spanish football was getting tedious.
And you know that spare room?
Uh-huh.
Well, my mom's moved in.
Just had a wee shot of your razor there.
No problem, Daphne. What's mine is yours.
Jesus. Granny wins the rollover.
Steamy windies in here, eh? Nice rug, Mum. It's hot on the inside of a cheese toast in here. Do you mind? Mr. McTaggart, looking trim. Keeping active.
That is funny. They're really good, eh?
Aye.
Oh wait, there's a number 2. Are we up for watching this? Are we just doing a full
man.
fucking...
No.
How long has this been? This has been like 10 minutes
Oh, it
of Iron
doesn't
Brew.
matter.
Do you know what? Fuck it. Are you up for watching it?
Aye, man.
These are funny. Fuck it. Welcome back. Second.
Wait, come on.
How do we do, son?
Not bad, Mum. Not bad.
Hi, Mum.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hiya, boys. New push-up bra. Amazing, eh?
Looking good, Mum.
Oh, come here, you. Group hug?
Yeah, that's not as good.
Against all the odds, Scotland's qualified for the World Cup. Let's go and meet the squad.
See, I'm not impressed with the writing on the first one.
Aye.
Now my expectations are high.
You alright?
I don't get it.
This one's
It's part 2. It's part 2 of the worst adverts.
these ones are. Aye, the standards kind of slipped.
I want to make sure the older ones, the old girdered ones.
That was incredible. Oh no, it's phenomenal.
Oh, is this the Raphael guy?
Oh.
Hey ladies, you come to Rahul's house, we make sandwich, yes? I dive.
Yo, ladies! Look at Raul bouncing up and down.
Diet Iron Brew.
Raoul. I remember that.
Raoul.
Iron Brew is a salt drink for hard Iron Brew, made in Scotland from Gerbers.
Fucking hell. Eh? Right. I don't know if I can get through the rest of this.
Nah.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Aye. I'm going for beer, make a coffee.
Aye. Iron Brew adverts. What
I
the
had
fuck?
like that last one reminded me of something when he was pouring it. I once had a dream.
It's kind of like Popeye.
Aye,
Isn't it? The way he's like squeezing the thing.
But like at the beginning of the advert when he's actually pouring it.
All right, yeah.
I once had a dream where I had the superpower of what was it? If somebody's glass was empty, and I was sitting in the pub and I was like, "Don't worry," I put my hand on top of it and it would just fill with whatever they wanted. So I was like, "Milkshake for me."
That'd be an
you want
awesome-
a beer? There you go. And it just filled itself. Like drinks on me.
It wouldn't be a good superpower if you were an alcoholic, though.
I would
You'd probably just fucking stumble about, not be able to fly anywhere.
I can't help it.
I don't know. I like that we've got the YouTube app now.
That's
we can
cool.
do all these wee funky
Things
things.
have changed in the circle of podcasts.
Aye, well, the thing is, right, about a podcast, because the thing is, like, we're not like, you know, it's not like an interview format, really, where we're trying to, like I said, there was a guy who had, like, Sausage, his name was, he had a complaint a few weeks ago because he felt like that we weren't being as objective as we should be, given that this is a podcast.
Right.
Now, fair enough, you do get an awful lot of podcasts which are an interview format where you're going to be interviewing someone and it's all about trying to spread factual information, not trying to just basically trying to be accurate and whatever. This is a podcast, but it's not that. Yeah, it's just hanging out. It's just doing whatever.
Chairman of the
like
board.
if we weren't being filmed right now,
we'd be talking about like this.
We may just be sitting here watching fucking Iron Brew adverts and going on about how crazy it is. I don't know. Old adverts.
You can't please people. There's always something.
Yeah. There will always be people that are like, hate you for whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even fucking people like Will Work for Free is a good example of, like, I really tried hard to be as now I do have my own sort of view on everything, where it's going, and I do think that sort of aligning yourself with the zeitgeist movement and trying to put forward that viewpoint. My own personal point of view is like that's the best way to really sort of go into the future and all that stuff. And so I've got a bit of a bias, I guess. If someone said that I had a bias, I wouldn't be able to really deny it. Of
well, you make
things.
T-shirts that say the zeitgeist movement, and
yeah. But even just like promoting technology and trying to convince people that technology is the way to go. I mean, the only reason I've got that bias is because I'm looking at the world around me and saying that things. Did you make me a coffee? You didn't, did you?
You want a coffee?
I said I wanted a coffee.
Did it?
You
go on, the kettle's still hot. Go on, Paul.
I want to play Bass Handyman the fucking.
Oh, we'll play it back.
Yeah, no. What are we playing back?
Because I said coffee and he doesn't believe me. I'm sure I did. What if I didn't? I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot.
No, you did, because he asked me as well, and I went, "Nah, I'm alright."
Yeah, but so I might have like a bit of a bias and whatever. But like, I really tried to not put my own personal spin on anything. I tried not to be, what's the word?
You try to be as objective as possible.
Yeah, but there's a word I can't remember. But it's like when I'm putting my own well, I've already said it, spin on the thing, and I really don't feel like I did and whatever. But you will get people that comment saying like, "This is fucking propaganda. This is whoever made this has aligned themselves with the New World Order," and like you will get that, and it's a bit astounding to me.
I've always thought that. I've always thought that you've been aligning yourself with the New World Order. I'm glad somebody else has said it now.
Yeah, no, you do get people like that, and like
you won't get criticism.
What's that?
I'm waiting for Alan to change his mind now.
I didn't change my mind. I did want a coffee.
Okay.
I've been thinking, Paul. No, I'm kidding. But what was I going to say?
Oh, the smell of coffee in the air. This aroma.
It's bringing me back.
Bringing me back.
The memories. But alright, so no, you won't get complaints. I watched it, and obviously you can't help it. You'll if it's your opinion, if you're passionate about it, you can't help. You will be a little bit biased about it. You're not gonna.
Well, but what I mean though is, like, see, we were talking about the Oculus Rift.
Yeah,
I don't have any figures on that, on whether or not. I don't have any studies that are saying we are going to have, an animated simulation.
Yeah,
that's my own sort of bias sort of like projection into
That's
the
what
future.
you're hoping for the future.
Yeah, that's what I could see happening. I don't have anything to back that up. But when it comes to like the statistics on the development of like the automation of, just even the transport and driverless cars. Or here's one as well. This wasn't in the film. This was recently Ray Kurzweil, who sort of makes a lot of projections about the future.
Is that the Google guy? The Google guy. The guy that
I think he does stuff with Google.
Oh no, I'm talking about somebody else. I'm talking about the guy who predicted Google and predicted the internet.
Oh, possibly. Ray Kurzweil is well known for having making predictions. Yeah, and it's not just that he makes predictions, because people might say, well, anyone could have predicted that we'd have a search engine.
But he's very specific about it.
He's really so specific, and he goes to like almost to the year.
Yes. Because what was it? 45?
No, do you know what it is as well? Because people might say like, oh, maybe he's like what's that guy's name? The guy who's like
Jonathan Tito.
No. You know the guy who makes all the predictions. He's like famous and everything for having made all these fake predictions. He's supposedly predicted. No, a guy from like years ago. I can't remember.
George Orwell.
No. What are you talking about? What the fuck's his name? Someone will know what I'm talking about. There's like this fake he predicted 9/11 apparently. He was from like fucking I don't know, like 1800s or something years ago. He did all these fucking I can't remember his fucking name. Anyway, so people say, oh, is he just making all these predictions? Is he just psychic or something like that? No, it's all based on training analysis.
I think it's one of his. I don't know if the latest one, but one of the other ones, 2045. Yeah. Do you know?
Well, I'll show you. Everyone else is. We're going to go up to Maveric Media Shop.co.uk. Because you just said 45, and I can show you in all t-shirts and journals. This is a coming soon design I've done. It's Kurzweil is 2045. Alright. So I think I'm going to say this as
what the prediction?
You were going to say it.
Right, now I can't.
So it's basically there's this thing he calls it the singularity, and this is going to occur around 2045, and it's when basically everything is speeding up, technology moving so fast. We are going to integrate with machines and everything, but you know the way that you would look up on you'd check the news every day. Well, not even that. It's basically what he's saying is, do you know what's weird as well? Just while we're on that page.
Yeah.
Look who's that? Hey, that's me. Wearing the pirate wig off. There you go. So it's like, it's a weird sort of thing to try and describe. Basically, everything is growing exponentially, all the technologies and all this stuff. And so a weird example of describing the singularity, which is, and I might not be right because it's not an example that I've heard him sort of give to describe it as. But if you were to check the news every day, there would be more stuff, right? And we're not quite at the point yet where you could check the news every hour and there would be more stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we've got that Zeit News app. So I get up every day, and it's however many new articles full of new stuff that's coming out from all over the world, like just news stories, and development in technology, and there's just development across the world. Basically, if there's more and more development all around the world, that thing would be updating every. It wouldn't take a day. Maybe it'd take every couple of hours to be news stories.
Real time, just
and that's actually quite true with the Zeit app. It does update. Every couple hours you go back to it, there will be new stories. So he's saying the singularity will be like when basically the development and the exponential growth of society and the updates and everything that's going on occurs so fast that we can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, so you would have to, every time you refreshed the page on new information, new news stories that are out there, there's already new stories.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm using a news app example of what it would feel like to be living in a singularity. So basically, development occurs so fast, we can't keep on track with it. We can't keep up to date with it because it's moving so fast. And you know, by that I mean everything's just going to explode. Like technology is going to like become so abundant and so just incomprehensible, and like nanotechnology's coming, and we're going to have like fucking stuff in our blood stream and everything like that goes around and kills cancer cells. And
see the thing is, like that sort of stuff, it's like it's all this sort of, like, sounds crazy, sounds mental, sounds this, that. Think about the past 10 years. 5 years, and how far, like what was it, 6-7 years ago, you buy a terabyte, like, you know, external hard drive, and the thing's like this, you know, it looks like you could throw it on the floor and then it would catch ghosts, you know. But now they're literally like smaller than your hand, and it's like 2 terabytes, 3 terabytes, whatever.
Mental.
Was there not something that they also got past the highest byte, like, you know, gigabyte, whatever, like the highest one? They've got a new one. They've surpassed it.
Probably they're doing it all the time. Like,
that's just crazy.
I was just checking there to see like just my first Amazon search. Yeah, even then, like the prices. Like,
I used to have that one.
That one there at the top. Was it?
Like it's like 40 quid, and you've got a terabyte. Boom, there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and find the one that I had. That one there, actually, that top one, that Toshiba 1 terabyte. I'm pretty sure that's the one that I got, and I paid about £120 for it not that long ago.
Yeah, no.
And there it's down to £44.
Yeah, and the thing is, like,
how many terabytes could you get in a hard drive?
I don't know what the most is. I mean, there's a 3.5 there. No, that can't be right. That's a different type of thing.
It's
an internal.
Hard drive,
it's an internal one.
There's a 3 terabyte expansion. What the fuck was that, Sam? 3 terabyte.
Oh, no, an email, I think.
Oh, there we go. Just published.
Yeah, there's all different ones. I don't know
4
what that is.
4 terabyte down there. Look.
Element desktop hard drive.
4 terabyte, £100.
£60 for that's a 2 terabyte. Yeah, it's a bit basically that's another thing as well. The price of these things are coming down as well as the capabilities of them going up. And I remember going into the shops and be like, you know, convincing my mum that no, if she gave me like £60 for my birthday to get this 20 gigabyte hard drive. Now I remember that a 20 gigabyte hard drive just seemed like insane. Like, wow, you imagine how much fucking music I would get on that, you know.
How much what was it, is it the fonts, like the different types of fonts? How much do you have of that? Like, you know, you got 20 gig or
out of the legal downloaded fonts that I have, is that what you're bringing up?
Everything completely legit.
Get info. I have Alright, where does it say the size? It should say the size.
It says it there.
Where does it say?
Just
size. Oh, it's calculating.
Size.
Yeah, calculating
right.
size.
It's still calculating. There's that.
Well, there's that as well. Yeah, the fact that it's still on a Mac, it's still calculating the fucking size. We'll get it soon. But yeah, of just fonts. Yeah.
Nothing else.
Almost just under 5 gigabyte.
So there you go.
5 gigabytes worth of fonts.
Yeah. So there you go. You've got your 20 gig, whatever, and then a quarter. What was it?
Well, and then the operating system as well is gonna take up some space too. But yeah, I remember that fucking and it was like about 60 odd pounds, maybe even more actually. For a 20 gigabyte hard drive. And I remember telling Mum, "Oh, come on! If you get me this for my birthday, I'll be so happy."
I've got a like 64 gig. What was it? SD card and
yeah.
a camera. That's just like in the camera.
Yeah.
Like you can get hundreds.
I've
of
got 64 gig micro SD card in that. Like a micro SD card. It's fucking the size of my pinky nail. It's mental.
In your phone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's nuts all
and
this
you
stuff.
can get like 128 gigabyte SD card now as well. It's fuck it. It's off. It's up the wall.
Off the chain.
Let me see here. Open with preview. We'll see if we can show this. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna just sort of scale it down though so people can see.
There you go.
So yeah, you've got
8-inch floppy.
It's crazy. Like if a kid nowadays seen like a computer with a floppy disk drive,
I know.
They'd be like, SD cards used to be big.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's, you know what, this isn't actually showing you sizes or anything, but yeah, it's showing you Yeah, I mean, well, it's showing you sizes in terms of the size of the
Comparison.
physical media,
Yeah.
and it shows you how that gets smaller each time, because 1971 you've got an 8-inch floppy, goes down to 4.25, 3.5, and then we're on to DVDs,
Blu-rays that you'll have now,
and the SD cards are the ones like we're talking about, and like
Aye.
a lot of people are using SD cards and micro SDs.
Yeah.
And you know, that's 2005. That's saying they came out, but it's only really maybe about now
Yeah.
that you see a lot of people would use that over anything else.
Yeah.
And they're huge. The amount of space.
And so the cloud computing, that's 2011. We're on 2014 now. Maybe by about 2016, that'll be the big thing that
Yeah.
everyone will just acknowledge. Oh yeah, you have it all in the cloud. You know, then there's no
It's just
physical.
there. It's just somewhere there.
It's just insane.
I did have an image there I was going to look for to do with the sizes, because it has the dates and everything.
Right.
Oh, I hope I can find it. I'll try and find it. You guys just
We'll just talk
amongst
about it ourselves.
So, Alan, been any cool fights recently?
What was it? I took videos today. Yeah, that's where I was. Like, obviously, I was teaching class and that, eh? And what was it? Something I do every now and again is like train or spar. I'll join in with the students. I'll do it all, but we'll record it.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll use it as examples. Basically, more importantly, so all our students sort of see like this is, you know, how you train and stuff. You know, what was it? Because you either get people who are really scared of sparring and timid, or you get people who are like paired up with them and they want to smash them. So like, it's a good sort of variation. Like here's how it should be done as an example, and then teaching and stuff.
Mhm.
So I was doing that today. That's why I got this T-shirt, because I came in and I was just sweating. So I was like,
Not
it's about
because you
time
wanted it.
I get this T-shirt. So I got my
Aye.
Pirate Bay on.
No, they're good.
So yeah,
I like the Pirate Bay ones.
that's good.
yeah, sorry, I did have an image somewhere. I can't seem to find it, but it was basically showing you the micro SD.
Yeah.
It's the same object, micro SD card from however many years ago, and what size it was there when it would have been about 32. I don't know if it fucking 32 meg or whatever it was.
Aye.
To now it's like 64 gigs or.
My first like MP3 player was 256 megabyte, and I was like, wow, I can get how many songs on that?
Yeah.
Mine blown.
So Ray Kurzweil has made a thing. This is what I was going to say about like putting numbers out there and all that stuff. Ray Kurzweil, he tracks trends from all over and all. So actually, I could show you the trailer for his film. I'll tell you this first. He's got a film called Transcendent Man.
That is the guy. We're talking about the same person.
Yeah. I was thinking that when you said he predicted the things.
See this 2045 thing. There's this. I think it's a Russian guy who's trying to compete with them, or trying to get ahead of it,
Right.
and really push it forward so that he can capitalize on it. And he's a.
Oh, so you try to make like the, what's the word, like a man that would never die, like the kind of.
Oh yeah, he's trying to be like immortal in that.
Aye,
and-
that's the word for it.
Aye.
Who's this? There's a guy called
Russian guy.
Aubrey de Grey, who's really big into.
I'm sure he was on that Joe Rogan Questions Everything thing. I could be wrong.
Aye. That's where I got it from.
Right. Who are you talking about? Ray Kurzweil still, or you were saying there's some?
No, there's another guy, the Russian guy, and he wants to be immortal.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Actually, yeah.
You know, that guy. That's a scary dude.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan was interviewing him, and
Oh, he was on the podcast, was he?
Oh no, he wasn't. It was
just on
I'm
his
sure
questions.
Joe Rogan questions.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was.
But it's look at him like that's the last guy I want to be immortal in that. He seems like a scary guy, like Bram's Dracula type kind.
Yeah.
You know.
Ray Kurzweil, I was going to say, has made this other sort of prediction more recently. But it's not even necessarily a prediction. It's just an observation that he's made. But this is what we're saying: about 80%, something high, of all the predictions or all the observations, all the trends that he's acknowledged, they've all come to fruition. They've all been essentially true, verified, and all that stuff. And the thing that he's noticed is that the trend in solar technology has been doubling. Every roughly every 2 years. So maybe like 2 years and like maybe 2 months. It's been doubling the power. And so
Steve just sent me a message, like 15 minutes ago saying sound problem time.
Oh Jesus! Hopefully it should be fixed now. If it was about 15 minutes ago.
What?
I don't know why that
is.
happens.
It always like a 15, like after the first hour or so, it just goes.
After the first hour, the first time it happened, it was roughly. I was just checking to see if I didn't talk, if the thing was moving. It's roughly.
Because I heard it the last time.
Yeah,
and it was like crazy.
Yeah, the first time it happened, it was about an hour and 17 minutes in. Was the first time that we noticed it, but then the next time it didn't happen till like an hour and 25 minutes in. So it's kind of a bit unpredictable. I was going to do a thing when we got to an hour and 10 minutes and I forgot. I was going to turn off the box and then turn it back on and see if that helped solve it. But if it's happened, then it's happened.
Too
so
late.
Hopefully we should be fine now. We're probably just fucking watching Iron Brew adverts anyway. So but yeah, so the thing with recurs what he said, solar panels since its creation has been doubling every 2 years.
Is it explained in the trailer? Because we could just
no. This is the trailer's quite old. The trailer's 2011. That was uploaded on. So the trailer's a little bit old, and this is like a recent thing that he said.
Right.
But we're solar panels, or I shouldn't just say solar panels. Sorry, solar technology. Today accounts for around 1% of the planet's energy usage. And so that seems like really small.
But it's actually pretty big when you think
when you think about it, because it grows exponentially. Because we always think, oh, well, it's linear. It's taken us this long. I mean, how long have solar panels been around? We've got to 1%. We've got that time again until it gets to 2%. It doesn't work like that.
It's going to be 3 and then.
Well, it'll go from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16, and so he's basically calculated that if we have 6 more doublings, solar energy will be able to account for 100% of today's current planetary energy usage. 6 doublings is roughly about 2 years.
Wow.
So
oh my God.
2 years and 2 months. 2 years, maybe 2 years, 3 months. But yeah, so he's putting a pin on 14 years. 14 years is not fucking long. No. If we were to get all our energy just from solar, and that's not really taking into account the exponential potential of wave power, wind power, all this other stuff.
The thing is, like, a couple of things. One is, I was in Glasgow on Sunday, and I went to park, pay for the parking and that. The parking machine was solar powered. Which was quite cool. And then the second thing, completely forgot. What was I talking about? Can't remember. Not genuinely, it's just gone.
I thought you were going to say forgot at the time, and then you were going to tell us.
No, I just genuinely went there.
Completely forgot. That's so smooth.
But
as well as like parking meters and things that having solar panels. There's all these conceptual designs of.
Totally just remembered.
All right. Okay. Good. Go for it.
So we're talking about things like. It's like when you first saw the big TVs, the big plasma, like super thin TVs. It's like they're far too expensive, too expensive. Now they're just everywhere. Like you go past it, like people. You
look in someone's window,
massive 60-inch, like TV. Like it's just basically their wallpaper is now a TV. It's insane.
And people might think, oh well, it's so arbitrary, like a TV, like how does that really better the world and stuff like that. But the point being made,
that's so expensive.
But the point being made, and I mean, we got solar panels. I've probably said this before, but it was like 30 grand just a couple of years ago. We got it installed for 6. What would have been 30 grand had we got it a couple of years ago. Like the price is going down, and as the price drops, the fucking
the efficiency and that goes up as well.
Yeah, everything goes up, and so we're looking at 14 years. That's really not long. Like, I mean, if you had a kid next year, we'd be 100% energy reliant on solar before they're even a teenager.
That's crazy, man.
That's mental to think about that. This is how close we are to all this shit kicking off. And that's what I'm saying. That's just solar as well. Like, that's ignoring. So, like, see the Scottish independence thing? The big fear campaign that got drilled into us. Scotland only has 40 years left of oil. 40 years. In 40 years, think about how much. Like, 14 years we're going to be solar efficient.
I was raging about that. obviously with the whole independence thing, what was it? Me and everybody else were quite passionate about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And we still are. And for obvious reasons, like things like you hear things like that. 40 years, it's like who cares?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
14 years time will be solar power.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
also, like things are going to change so fast.
And
who
for-
cares about 100 years?
I wonder
Yeah.
about like 14 years. This is what I'm saying as well. This is excluding everything else.
Mhm.
So maybe in 10 years from now, with all the solar, all the wind, all the wave, all the tidal power, the geothermal, everything, we are not going to be using fucking oil at all.
No.
Saudi Arabia is running out of oil as well now. They're
Yeah.
saying all their black gold, all the fucking Dubai fucking billionaires, they're all gonna lose their investments and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they've still got lots of years left. They're looking at, about the same 30, 40 years.
But the
It's
thing
going
is,
to be fucking irrelevant.
like, what's America gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do? Are we just stopping invading countries?
Well,
or we go help
that's
Africa
interesting.
instead?
That's an interesting thing.
You know?
Oh, maybe, yeah, Africa, the big solar potential.
Aye.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're not going to really need to go to war for oil if
Aye.
that's the case. But even then, like, I mean, if because I used to think as well, I used to think that Africa will become huge because that's the place with fucking loads of sun and solar panels are
Yeah.
going to be high in demand. But if in 14 years, even in Scotland, we're getting 100%
Aye.
of our energy needs met just from solar,
Aye.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd only really need Africa if we were using up way more, energy than we are. But if we're not, then who gives a fuck? It's not going to matter.
Who gives a fuck? Who needs Africa anyway?
yeah, so we're not going to need them. No, but what I mean is they won't necessarily be like invaded or
Aye.
or like fought. There won't be fighting
Well,
over
what
land
about,
or anything like that.
we're talking about like obviously like the war and everything in Iraq and what have you. It's like it's just oil, and if you take that away, then ISIS and all these things.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Who will be the next threat? Who will be the next thing that will focus our attention
they're not
on?
going to give a fuck. It'll be weird. Like the whole.
That's been 16 years. Like you talked about 14 years. That's been 16 years we've been in and out, and war, like terrorizing the Middle East. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, that is. It'll all change. It's all going to change. And there is, I guess, a slight argument for because there is other things found in Afghanistan. Like there's lithium and there's opiums as well. Like all the heroin, fucking opiate fields and all that.
Can't get enough of the heroin.
Can't get enough of that heroin. Brown gold. But I don't know. There's also a lot of stuff happening with our education to do with drugs and everything. Like a lot of states in America are legalizing marijuana.
Yeah.
There's a guy.
If we had an independent Scotland, all you stoners out there, be so happy right now. First thing that would happen instantly.
Aye, everyone just fuck it.
Aye.
Let's do this.
Get what we did it. You know what? See you guys. You done a good job. Here, legalise weed.
Yeah.
Chill out a wee bit.
The Green Party. We know what they mean.
Aye.
It's I don't. There's a guy who's came out and he said that like a lot of the scare stories about drugs and heroin overdoses, they're all so fucking over exaggerated. It's unbelievable. Like heroin overdoses are like so rare. This guy's saying, but that's what you hear about. Whenever you hear about heroin stories, it's always about the overdoses. And whenever they're portrayed in movies, that doesn't help because they're just going off of
Go look at Cashies on a Saturday. It's if they're still kicking about, nobody's ODing just yet. It still is mobbed.
Yeah, there's a thing as well, like about supposedly, I don't know. The argument is though that like these people that are on heroin, when you see them and you see these junkies and they look frail.
Yeah.
The reason is because they're usually on benefits, and if they're addicted to heroin, they're not going to spend money on food.
Yeah.
No.
They're not going to get their nutrients.
Yeah.
But you can be a perfectly functioning heroin addict, and as long as you have enough money to eat as well, you'd be all right. So there's there's a lot of people coming out of the woodwork now, with a lot of changes about the drug laws and all that stuff. And my point was as well, just maybe the old opiates and all the illegal drugs, and because this is a generator of a lot of fucking nonsense as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they have in Detroit and all that. They brought in the crack cocaine and the crystal meth and all that, and it just fucked up the areas. And then all the police get to arrest people for drug uses, drug violations and all that. I don't know, man. I'm looking at the future where it's like, yeah, no one's going to get arrested because there's going to be no reason to arrest people for drugs. You know?
Oh,
there's going to be solar energy. Everything's just happy.
It's going to be so
Oculus
greener on the other side.
Roll anime characters and like
Dragon Ball Z is a real thing, and we can go into.
People are going to get fucking high as shit and then stick on their Oculus Rift that's all solar powered.
That'd be crazy. But what was it like? Greg, that was Gregor's main thing. Like, you know, he was interested in like what's going to happen with the drug reforms and all that sort of stuff. You know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like now, like we quite clearly understand that marijuana and all that. It's like it's really not that bad. Like nobody's dying from it. But yet alcohol and everything. Ooh, that's okay.
I mean,
that's fine.
It's an argument that's kind of been made to death, but it's so true. Like, why the fuck is alcohol illegal while... Sorry, why the fuck is alcohol legal while marijuana is illegal?
Yeah.
I saw that picture. There was it was like 4 different examples. So there was like the before and after pictures. So there was like heroin before and after. The guy after looks fucked up. Crystal meth before and after. Guy looks fucked up.
The guy just looks really happy.
Yeah, there's a few of them, but then they cut to the weed one before and after. Before he's just looking miserable. After he's like, fucking and it's so true. Like it's fucking weed that hasn't killed anyone. It's been shown as far as you know.
Amsterdam, places like this that have had it for
There you
so
go.
long. Like, you know, a coffee shop or whatever, chilled out is in it. Like, you know, really. It's all backwards.
It is, and that's something that they need to do. And this is why I usually don't buy into politics and care enough about politicians, because none of them look at the statistics. None of them actually would look at, say, the Spirit Level, that book that has like all the statistical data on how to minimize the aberration in a society.
Place that I was meant to be going somewhere. I was like a few months ago, and instead. That got cancelled, so I remembered that. I was like, right, I was going to take Gregor and Kieran and that to go to this Loch Lomond to a boat party.
Alright.
Right? So we turn up, and then it's this massive boat. And it's like, screw it, I'm going as well. I'm going to go to this party on a boat. But it ended up being this, like, you know, it's not a club or anything like that, so it's this major chilled out environment, and people are like taking drugs left, right, and centre, and it's like, you know, just having a ball, like the best time. But there wasn't really anybody drinking so much, so everybody was just happy, like really happy, and like really encouraged to see each other. And that it's like, this is our thing. Like, you're having a party on a boat. There were ska bands, punk bands, all that sort of stuff. It was really. There was a person there like giving out massages. Obviously, that turned out
he's a creepy motherfucker,
right? that was like back rubs and stuff, but it was like, right, you're high as a kite. You have a massage and it feels amazing.
Yeah,
I had one because, like, you know,
you weren't even high, were you?
No, but I was just like, you know, okay, I feel pretty good. I was like, all right, cool. I'll have a back massage. Proper massage felt amazing.
Yeah.
Afterwards, like, chilled out, dancing and everything. So good.
Yes,
but
like,
if you go to like
Burning Man, have you heard of Burning Man?
What's that?
Burning Man's like this big thing in America they do, and it's like they go out in the fucking middle of the desert.
All right.
And it's I'll show you a trailer for that. But we'll get back to Ray Kurzweil. I'll show you like I'm sure they did a documentary actually on Burning Man.
Burning Man.
Burning
Man does whatever a Burning Man does.
Oh shit! Is our internet crashing? No. Did I just not?
No.
These are quite long, but let's probably show you a little bit.
Right. Okay.
So it's like right out in the middle. I don't know what that music is, so I'm gonna mute it just in case we get taken off or anything.
All right.
But yeah, so it's out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and just all these people go.
All right. So this is like a big gathering thing for.
Yeah, it's just like a big gathering for.
Oh
like,
wow.
I'll put it back a little bit.
So it's like a proper like party thing.
Yeah, and there's just everyone's like running. There's no rules kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So like there's loads of people just walking around naked, people just fucking each other, and they're all on drugs and just
Titty Twister bar.
Up. Yeah, Titty Twister bar. I don't know what that's supposed to be. And they burn this big thing at the end of it, I think. Oh, there's a pirate ship of some sort.
Alright.
But it's this big, huge event, and there's like thousands of people go to it every year.
See, that's cool. Like, that's the sort of thing where people are like totally just into having like fun and stuff, and it's not like any bad thing. That's crazy.
Whoa. Is that people?
That is people.
What the fuck?
There's a Burning Man.
Yeah, that's it. Burning Man, look at all the fireworks and shit.
That's cool.
So yeah, these are people just not giving a fuck. And
yeah.
Actually, I want to watch that documentary now.
Yeah, I know. But see that, like the fireworks and everything, we're talking about, you know, how, like, you know, massive the amount of space that we have for information, like terabytes and stuff, and how small the actual casing is. Yeah. Like GoPros. Right?
Oh yeah,
that's
GoPro
another
cameras.
example. Films like 4K, and it's like this size.
Yeah.
And there's one, you can get drones for it now. You know, that they can fly it.
Oh yeah.
And there's a fireworks display, and it goes through it.
Oh
like,
wow!
As they're all like exploding and
so you
stuff.
see them all really close up and
but
everything.
you can fly it on a remote control, and then use your iPhone to connect it, and then go into your like Google Maps or whatever. Pinpoint where you want it to fly around. Pick the destination where you want it to land as well.
Oh, and just leave it.
Yeah, just
Wow.
like set it. It just goes around, does its own thing. It can go a mile high, and it can
Holy
go,
shit.
I think, about 4 to 6 miles away from you.
Wow.
And you can just set it on its course, and it'll go. And if there's any problems, just comes right back to where you've set the destination.
That's incredible, isn't it?
It's just another example of the craziness that's going on with technology.
So yeah, that was the Burning Man stuff.
That's cool.
There's just loads of stuff, and
like that's the thing. Like more parties, more people. There's more of these sort of gatherings where it's like, you know what? As a chilled out environment, just don't be a bad guy.
yeah,
you know?
just don't be a bad guy.
Hi.
What's that?
And I mean,
Music
there's
after?
not people turning up there with like bottles and bottles of whiskey.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking, it's all, they're
It's
doing
all,
anything. They're
you
doing
know.
mushrooms, and they're, you know,
Aye.
just doing psychedelics and tripping and being all lovey-dovey.
Aye.
I want to show you the trailer for Transcendent Man.
Yeah, go for it. I'm ready.
The reason I'm calling today is to express my disappointment that you have invited this highly sophisticated crackpot and given him a national forum to express his pseudo-religious predictions that have no basis in objective reality.
If you go back 500 years, not much happened in a century. Now a lot happens in 6 months. Technology feeds on itself and it gets faster and faster. It's going to continue, and in about 40 years, it's going to be moving so fast, the pace of change is going to be so astonishingly quick that you won't be able to follow it unless you enhance your own intelligence by merging with the intelligent technology we're creating.
This guy is freaky. He says computers will have consciousness in just 25 years.
As we get to the 2030s, you're not going to be able to tell a clear difference between human and machine intelligence.
He's an award-winning scientist and engineer, a millionaire several times over because of his inventions.
Raker's wild.
These inventions may end up causing the worst war that humanity's ever had.
Corporations and governments and societies will be created and destroyed on the back of the technology that this book describes.
Inventor Ray Kurzweil thinks that one day humans may be able to live forever.
I want to live as long as I can. I don't want to die. If following Ray's regimen would put that day off, I'm very willing to do that.
I knew there was a reason I was keeping all this stuff, and he kept all this stuff. I do plan to bring back my father.
It's going to scare a lot of people.
The world is changing far too fast. Nothing like this has ever happened to Homo sapiens before.
These ideas are going to ultimately change the world. We didn't stay on the ground, we didn't stay on the planet, and we didn't stay with the limitations of our biology.
I think Ray is performing the service of a prophet. That's wrong.
He has used the gift that he was given for the betterment of humankind. That's what I think.
It will be the universe waking up.
I just remembered that watching the intro to that film and just being like, wow. Like, like, holy shit.
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant film, and the thing is, like, I mean, I guess he is kind of quirky, and like the thing about his dad is that he was really close to his dad, and everything. His dad died, and it, like, you know, crushed him and all that. And he thinks that if he can one day, when there is like an artificial intelligence thing, and if he's lived on long enough to see it, he'll be able to put in enough data from his dad's, you know, writings and all the stuff that he will be able to recreate essentially his dad in an AI. So he has like quirkiness things to him, like he has pills, like vitamins and stuff. He has a regimen of pills where he eats like 200 odd pills a day. Supposedly he's cured himself of diabetes by doing it, because it's all down to data. It's not like, it's almost like he's mapped his genome, and they can like sort of supposedly tell you, okay, you have a propensity for this gene or this disease or whatever, and so he's worked out like the correct combination of supplements and vitamins to eat. So like, I don't think he even eats food. It's just all these pills. But then he goes back to the doctor, and it's like, yeah, you've way lowered your risk for diabetes. You're much healthier. You're all this stuff. So like, it kind of worked, you know. It
kind of makes it of like Walter White, you know, the science guy, and then what was it? Has to figure out, you know, his illnesses and that.
Yeah. I know. But
this through this mad combination of drugs, or vitamins.
But so I mean, he's got his quirks to him. But the thing is, this is what I'm saying. It's not that he's just saying, "I wish that there will be artificial intelligence in 10 years." He's more or less a scientist that understands the development of this stuff. So he's dead interesting, and a lot of his stuff, that's what I'm saying, it's based on trend analysis. So he's definitely credible. And like I said, he's usually around 70 to 80% accurate on everything that he said. I mean, that's fairly fucking decent. The other guy who's quite interesting as well is a guy called Aubrey de Grey, who he's got this whole thing about aging and the aging process. But he, again, is another smart motherfucker that understands. He's a proper, like, he was like a computer scientist that then studied for years and was like a whatever he was, like I think he was like some sort of teacher, or he's a programmer or something, and he decided, no, fuck this, what's the point in learning all about this computer stuff when we should be really moving our efforts in the world of aging and stopping the aging process. And he makes a good point. He says, what, like, because cancer is something that we all have sort of dormant inside us. Why are we trying to cure cancer or slow down cancer when, if we eliminate the deterioration of the body and the things that cause cancer in the first place to trigger, if we can stop aging, then we by proxy have cured cancer and Alzheimer's and all this other stuff, because Alzheimer's and cancer and all these degenerative diseases, these are there's no point in trying to cure each individual one when, if we could stop the aging process, we've done it. So this is what he's focusing all his efforts on, and that's fucking really interesting as well. He's convinced that everyone, well, as long as you don't get hit by a bus or whatever, everyone that's under the age of about 25, 30, which puts me in that category, will live as long as you don't die, and as long as you have access to the medication and everything, you could live to be 1,000. And it sounds like, what the fuck is this guy saying? It's totally out there.
But how would your body cope with that?
Because all it is
what point will you where do you stop aging? Is it when now you're 40 and you're just going to look like the 40-year-old version of yourself for 1,000 years?
Well, you would look at basically once you're fully developed after puberty, once you're absolutely developed in your prime, the second before everything starts degenerating, you're around about the age of 22, I think, 23. And so everyone would revert back. Your skin would become.
You would revert back.
You could revert back, because it's all to do with. I mean, white blood cells have a lot to do with it, and the way that your body generates that, and stem cells, and there's lots that goes into it. But that's the reason that your skin deteriorates and stays in a deteriorated form and all that stuff. I mean, obviously, I'm not a fucking scientist and all this stuff. He can describe it way better than I can. But the idea is that you would regenerate back, and even if you were like in your 80s just now and had the proper medicine to rejuvenate and replenish, you can. The thing is, you can also take stem cells and grow versions of your own organs that have your own DNA attached to them. That'd be cool. So you could have like all these transplants, liver transplant, heart transplant, all this stuff, and it will be a perfect match because it's made from your own stem cells. Yeah. So it is a carbon copy of your heart and whatever.
Obviously, this is maybe a ridiculous thing, but like things like scars and cartilage and ligaments and all that sort of stuff could go if it was ever.
I have no idea.
I think maybe that's just a little bit too far.
But I don't know.
We should
why
ask
not,
that
though.
guy. That guy seems like he cares what's going on.
Well, I mean, I guess like a scar. I'm trying to think because, like, you know, once.
Really, I guess it probably would. I mean,
because I'm trying to think, if you were like Wolverine, like if you got like,
that's what I'm thinking of. Like,
if you had a thing for like Wolverine, like. Wolverine's whole thing is he heals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if your scar heals in real life, there's still a mark.
Mhm.
Yeah, Wolverine heals, the mark disappears.
Aye.
So I don't know if we had a healing gene, would we still have the scars? Probably, I think.
It could be like that guy from Highlander. You know when with the big scar around his neck. And everything.
Here we are.
Oh, that's a good movie. I was watching that like the Sean Connery scene. You know when they're on the boat, but it was like dubbed with two like Scottish guys.
See, I can't really. I remember it from when I was younger, and I remember bits of the theme tune as I just demonstrated.
Yeah.
But no, I can't actually remember too much from it.
I just remember was that Sean Connery being like playing an Egyptian and thinking, "But you're so Scottish, like you're the last Egyptian. Like, why aren't you just a Scottish guy? Why do you have to be an Egyptian?" And he doesn't change his accent. He's like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm Sean Connery."
I'm going to actually just show a picture for people because this guy Aubrey de Grey, again, I'm the first one to admit this guy looks fucked up.
Right.
Oh, I think it's on it'll come up anyway. I've spelled it wrong, but Aubrey de Grey. This is the one I would recommend. I'm not going to play it, but this is the one that I would recommend people watch. It's on BBC's Hard Talk. Is it BBC? It is BBC, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is Hard Talk a Sky thing?
It looks like BBC.
Yeah, it looks kind of BBC.
Yeah, I think it is a BBC thing. So yeah, he's on Hard Talk, and for people that know Hard Talk is like the presenter will absolutely fucking drill you.
Aye.
He'll crucify you.
Yeah.
So this guy Aubrey de Grey, I mean, check the fucking beard on him. He looks mental.
Yeah.
He looks off his head. As BBC.
Yeah.
So you might think, on Hard Talk especially, he's going to get absolutely demolished.
Aye.
But the thing is, this guy is a fucking badass.
Aye.
He knows his shit. Out of all the Hard Talk episodes, this is like the best one. This is the best guy I've ever seen on it.
This is
apart from maybe
guys like Paxman used to be kind of like, there was that guy what was it, Andrew Neil, I think it was his name, during the referendum, Straight Talk,
right?
And he was interviewing like Alistair Darling, Salmond, all of them, and he was just like, right, beeline for you, right? Just everything you said, let's just go through it, and you're going to explain yourself now. And it's just like when you watch it, like, jeez, he's not pulling any punches.
Yeah.
And you see like Alistair Darling and everything crumble, and but he just doesn't hold back. He's just like, nah, I'm gunning for you. And I like stuff like that. I like that sort of journalism.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, there's a guy called Jeremy Rifkin who was also awesome on Hard Talk. But this Aubrey de Grey guy, because of the stuff that he's talking about is so fucking outlandish. He's talking about we're going to live to be 1,000.
Yeah.
You would immediately, your gut reaction is, this guy is a fucking freak.
Yeah.
And then when you see his big beard and his look, you think, yeah, he is a freak. If you actually take the time to listen to him, he's a fucking smart guy. He knows that he's shit, and he can defend his position better than the 99% of the people that I've seen sitting in that chair on Hard Talk. So Aubrey de Grey, his name is. Check him out on Hard Talk. Highly recommend it.
I'll be watching that. That's just good.
Yeah, it is. He's really awesome.
That's another thing. Like, see stuff like that. What was it? again, going back to like YouTube and Netflix and all that sort of stuff,
Mhm.
like finding stuff like this.
Whoa,
that was quite loud.
Fucking loud. I think it burst in eardrum.
What happened? You've been poked.
Yeah,
But
just ignore that. Happens all the time.
Facebook, but just to give some sort of context there, you know, just in case. What? Oh, it's happened again. My memory's
Oh no, come on, Alan. We've got like 2 minutes left.
2 minutes. Netflix. Aye. So TED Talks, these sort of things.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
lectures that really short, like 15-minute lectures. Like boom here, like you know, you can learn absolutely
Yeah.
anything. But it's there, like
Yeah, like there was a guy in the and Will Work for Free, where he's talking about like he's taking the internet to classrooms and showing like kids in third world countries and all this stuff. And there was, I think he went to Italy and he was showing like these kids these lectures, giving them access and they could do whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
And he showed this kid like, you know, TED Talks,
Mhm.
and he said before he wanted to be a football player.
Yeah.
He's watched 6 TED Talks. And now he wants to be Leonardo da Vinci. Like, and it's so brilliant. It's like that's, you know what I mean, that's the access to information.
Stephen George poking you as
Stephen
well.
George poked me as well.
Poked hard.
All right, we're going to end it there because it's time basically. That was a fun podcast. I enjoyed it.
Very interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Careful.
You look a bit tired, Paul.
I'm fucking sharks, son.
Did you have fun, Alan?
I have a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got 2 balls. Let's end
Hey.
it. Bye. Thanks for everyone.
My name is Sam, and that's not all. I got a pretty good show with my good friend Paul. So listen up to the chairman of the board. I talk to him and he talks to me. We talk a lot of shit, but you get it for free. So don't complain, these gadgets cost a lot. So now we're at the end of the song, and everybody knows what's going on. So here we have the chairman of the, yes we have the chairman of the board. Because we're bored.
Longer, have a bit more dialogue, but obviously we're just getting into it. This is something new that we're doing. They'll hopefully improve as time goes on. But at the end, I mean, in a year from now, if we had, you know, 52 films,
Even if it was 33, like podcast or whatever, like
Yeah, you'd
if
be
it was
happy with that.
33, and then the amount of time, like 33 weeks on, everybody's if they have one thing or a couple of things or whatever that they're interested in, then 33 weeks from now they won't get better.
yeah,
there's no going back.
That's it.
We'll all sort of learn from each other as well. Like if you went off and discovered, oh,
Yeah.
did you know you could do this in Photoshop? Like,
Yeah,
it
we
is.
did that this week.
It's like, yeah.
You know,
It's kind of like being at college, isn't it? We're all just sort of finding out stuff,
Oh,
learning, we're studying.
the thing that the real bit
It's like
is
community.
exactly.
Sorry.
But like what was it? The wee brainstorming part where you have to work with others and then like come up with ideas and play off it and then go create something. You know,
Yeah.
It's a valuable skill.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by all this. Not even us, but just everything that's happening in the world to do with this type of move forward. It's a big transition that's going
definitely.
on. And I was talking to my friend earlier today, and he was telling me that YouTube are now advertising. There's YouTube adverts on TV.
All right.
Like I haven't seen them yet, but he was saying he was watching just whatever it was. He was watching some TV show, and it came up an advertisement for. There's guys on YouTube that do this thing where it's they slow mo everything.
slow-mo guys.
Yeah, slow mo guys.
Yeah.
And so apparently there was an advert for them, and his first reaction was, "Oh, I wonder when it's on because I'll set it to record on the planner."
Oh right.
And then it comes up, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, I instantly have access to it. I don't have to wait. It's just there. It's fucking, and this is all just content uploaded. You know, it's user generated content. It's like the Netflix, but for anybody.
Yeah.
And it's kind of getting so big now that a YouTube channel will advertise on mainstream TV. We're watching this transition happen.
Yeah.
And I was saying to him as well, it's like the amount of stuff. I mean, obviously, it's there's like a transfer from the big, mainstream media TV to YouTube, but there's more than. And Kieran's really good with Photoshop as well, and coming up with logos, and he does camera work and stuff. So we've all got our own little. We had Hannah Ford there as well, who's big into. She's an artist, big into like makeup and all stuff. So we sort of realised that there's all these people we've all got our own sort of little talents, you know, in certain areas and stuff. So why not just put it all together and see what happens? And so yeah, we got together last Saturday.
Yeah.
And we put together a film. It's like I said, 7 minutes. It's hard to know how to, you know, structure that. So it ended up only being about 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I was thinking we could show it on the podcast. It's only short and it's a lot of fun. Don't worry, you're not going to get bored at it. Like, you know, it's not going to be like, oh, they're showing us this fucking gay film that they made. No, it's actually really good. If I do say myself.
So.
Put it on. This is called Swanson.
Swanson.
Yeah?
I've got the bail. 100,000. You know where to find me.
Who's this?
You don't need to know.
How am I supposed to get 100,000?
That's on you, mate.
Alright, I'll be there.
So, you've had the fucking balls to show up, Mr. What the fuck have you just done?
Nobody tells me what to do.
Yeah, roll credits. So that was our short little film. I think it's fucking awesome.
I think it's good. Like.
Yeah, no, I love it. So the idea is that we do one of those, and of course that was obviously a comedy themed one. But the idea is that we do whatever comes up, you know. So we might end up being like a horror, you know,
anything else is kind of up for grabs.
Yeah, and I think also what's kind of cool about this, what seems cool to me about this whole idea, is that we've been doing this podcast just out of a sort of fuck it attitude. Why not do a podcast? Who gives a fuck? Who says we can't do a podcast? And we've stuck at it, and we're now on our 33rd episode, and we've got, like, you know, the 2 hours each. So that's like 66 hours worth of fucking footage. That's
like,
just,
it is crazy.
It's just out there.
Yeah.
So if we were able to concoct a film, and even if it is just, you know, I mean, that was particularly short. We will, I think, in the future try and make them a bit long.
Right. Is that the song that's in that Independence video that you did?
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Oh, aye, it's in that too.
I love that song. Alright, we're live.
That smells amazing.
Live?
Honestly, it smells really good.
The hand wash.
It doesn't even smell like alcohol anymore, it just smells like fruit.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Chairman of the Board, episode 33. Maveric Media, shop.co.uk. You can get all your awesome wares, just like our guest today. I'm actually just going to take off this thing to show you. Our guest today is wearing his Pirate Bay / Netflix style t-shirt, and it looks fucking awesome.
It's good.
We don't sell those Sum 41 t-shirts that Paul's advertising there.
For the scene since fucking
Old
2000
school,
and
man.
whatever it was.
But yeah, let's just jump in with the theme tune.
My name is Sam, and that's not all. I got a pretty good show with my good friend Paul. So listen up to the chairman of the board. I talk to him and he talks to me. We talk a lot of shit, but you get it for free. So don't complain, these gadgets cost a lot. So now we're at the end of the song, and everybody knows what's going on. So here we have the chairman of the, yes we have the chairman of the board. Because we're bored.
Because we're bored. That's our theme tune. It goes like that. You hear it every week. How exciting.
That's our thing, Sam.
It is our thing.
It's good to have a thing.
It is.
That's your thing.
It's,
Love that routine.
it sucks when you don't have a thing.
That's it.
We've got Alan Clark on the podcast today. This is your third time that you've been on.
Accidentally, yeah.
Accidentally. Just kind of showed up today.
Aye.
And we're like, oh yeah, do you want to do a podcast? Fuck it. Me and Alan have been kind of working together a bit as of late. We've got this new venture. It's a new idea. What's wrong, Paul?
I just made a face at myself on the thing.
It's weird because you can see yourself now. You like watch yourself. It's like
Yeah,
Changed
yeah.
things have
changed.
We weren't able to do that before because it would just fuck up the stream. But now we're on the good computer. Woohoo!
Yeah.
For all those nostalgic fans that have been watching us since day one, we are now on the good computer.
What if the nostalgic fans are like, they fucking sold out?
He sold
I
out.
know. I'm
Maybe
wearing
that's
a
why we've not heard
t-shirt.
from
What's
Ryan
going
Green
on?
in so long.
What's that?
Maybe that's why we've not heard from Ryan Green in so long.
Ryan
But
Green shared the status. I noticed when
It's
we
nice
were
to have you back,
posting.
Ryan.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Long time no here. Our wee venture that we're on is kind of, well, it's not just us, obviously.
Aye.
There's this. It was my brother sort of conceived of this idea to do, make a film one day, every week. We'll get together and within 24 hours, we'll go from having absolutely nothing prepared to writing the script, conceiving of an idea, storyboarding it, and we'll make a film. I don't know how committed we are to having it 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a sort of idea, first of all, it'd be 7 minutes because then it's like 24/7.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little bit ambitious to try and get it on the 7 minute mark each time, I think. And
as long as
it's on it's on the day, and the idea is that we get together as a collective. Whoever's there just puts all their ideas and creativity into it. And
Yeah.
we end the day with the product.
yeah, because there's
That's
a
it.
bunch of us and we're all sort of talented in our own little ways. And so we got together last Saturday. Was that arrogant saying that we're all talented?
A wee bit, but it was quite funny. I liked it. You pulled it off.
Well, no, we are. I mean, obviously, Ben's got his first class degree honours in film and media. Stephen's got his degree in sound engineering. You're quite well with. You do well with like your camp. What's the way of saying it?
Fighting.
No, the fighting.
Well, that could be it.
You're quite into photography,
Yeah.
and you're learning more and more every day about like Photoshop and and all this stuff. And I mean, me with just doing will work for free. I've been sort of thrown in the deep end of learning about video editing and all the stuff that I had to do for that. And I feel like I've learned so much more as well as times went on.
Yeah.
And even getting into like CGI type stuff with After Effects and everything.
Yeah.
If anyone saw my what's it
Ice
called,
Bucket
the
Challenge.
Ice Bucket Challenge.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
There was a lot of CGI in that. If you haven't seen that, go check it out.
Yeah.
It's
Also,
pretty fun.
what was other guys like Kieran as well for his use of Premiere. So like
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
got all